I thought y'all might want to check out our garden. This is in the front of the house. Say hi, Benjamin.
Hi.
This is the bed we built last fall, and I was hoping I might be able to get enough sun here during the winter to grow something, but right here, this area next to the house gets absolutely no sun between like October and February. But look at all what's growing there. That's lettuce and radish. And it doesn't look as filled out as it could be because we have already been harvesting, doing the cut and come again technique with lettuce. Trying to find a lettuce that's been obviously cut down recently. But this all here it's been cut. Most of this has been cut once and it's growing back. And I have some radish that's probably overdue from being harvested. So that's our, and it's the reason we built it so high is because we have a lot of rabbits in this area, and I did not, I want a Mr. McGregor thing going on, Peter Cottontail kind of fight. So that's so far what we have in our front as far as garden. And now we're gonna make our way through the gate to the side yard. Ignore all the garbage, please. I'll have it cleaned up eventually. This is one of the rain barrels we have. Check out this beautiful garlic. Now, check out this, what used to be garlic in these pots. Guess what the difference is? The difference is, I didn't water the pots enough. So they died, except for this one right here. Now, what about the garlic along the house? Well, if you're not from the south, you probably don't understand that down here where there's clay soil, we have to water our foundations. And so the garlic bulbs that were planted here are just a few inches away from the soaker hose, which gets turned on at least once a week, usually about once a week, if we don't get rain. And so, very beautiful garlic growing along the house, and I'm going to keep that up. I think that's just a good idea. It's a nice natural fauna going on here. Alright, broccoli. Kind of getting the shine from the sun there. This is one of the earliest broccoli I've planted. We're not flowering yet, I don't think, but lots of leaves. They're hitting against the top of the cage. Why is the cage there? The cage is there to keep out the cabbage moths. There's some small ones. I also have some cilantro in here growing with the broccoli. And this is I have a 32 square foot garden bed right here, and I'm sorry that the sunlight is kind of reflecting, but I can get down and show you a little better. Here's some kohlrabi that is overdue being harvested. I need to get to that. Kale, some cabbage. That cabbage some of this stuff has been cut. I'm dehydrating the leaves. If you don't know, dehydrated brassica leaves are awesome. They're delicious. This particular cabbage, they're a little bit prickly to touch, but they're, when you put them in your mouth, they're fine. So, but yeah, the broccoli leaves are actually more nutritious than the flowers. So you can just cut and come again with the brassicas like kale and broccoli and cabbage. And get you multiple harvests. I don't know if these my dwarf peas are ever going to flower. I don't know if they just haven't got enough sun on this side or what. But I do have a few peas. And so I cut some kale tonight. That's why it's not nearly as lush as it might be. There's some more. And on the other side, some more brassicas, kale, and cabbage, and broccoli. Over there, that's kohlrabi under there, and I have a couple of cabbage, a few carrots. You see the carrots down there. There's the carrots here in this square. Very hardy. I need to try to, well, nah, that's not going to happen though. But these carrots here survived the 5-degree nights we had in February. I mean, there were a bunch more carrots than that, but there's like 3 or 4 that actually survived. So, all right, moving right along. Down the side yard, you're looking at, and that's going to be raspberry one day, I hope. The two raspberry plants the nursery sent me look like broken sticks, and they haven't started leafing yet. So Hope they will. That's strawberries planted. I've planted strawberries in with my other fruit. Blackberry, blackberry, blackberry. A single beet. Everybody else died because I didn't water enough. I need to save the seeds from this one because it's a pretty hardy plant. This blueberry plant, love it. Came to me. It is growing. Look at that. Can you see? Will the video let you see? Will the flip cam like that? It gets blurry. But there's the little pink flowers right there. Little pink flowers. They're going to be blueberries. We're actually going to get some fruit this year. I thought we were going to have to wait an entire year, so that's exciting. And got more strawberries in there. Over on this side, cucumbers. Already going to town there. We've already had some, I don't know if it's powdery mildew or downy mildew issued. I've sprayed them with something called plant wash, which pretty much takes care of diseases. I'm not planning to spray for insects anymore. No more sprays because it repels the beneficials and will kill the beneficials, and then you have more problems than you end up with, than you started with, I mean. And that is what I learned last year. So, and now look at this fence. Look what I have decided to make the fence go to work. These are trellises we had in the garden last year, like around the garden beds. Let me get rid of that. There. But I've prepared the soil down there. And there's going to be 2 glacier tomatoes down there. That's an heirloom. There's going to be 2 Market More cucumber plants, I hope. I only have 2 more seeds left. I hope they both germinate. Here I'm going to let some red Malabar spinach go crazy up this trellis. Here will be 2 more glacier tomatoes. And the secret here, we have 2 secrets going on. Number 1, our fence, this you can't tell from the video, but it actually here goes down at a slope. The land is sloping, and it kind of levels out. We're down here, and Jerry has put in the landscape edging there in order to make the water slow down its progress and sink in right here. And so between that and the fact that on the other side of the fence we have a neighbor who waters her side yard about 3 times a week, we may never have to water right here. This is kind of going to be a self-irrigation. I wanted, you know, we have a teeny tiny side yard, a teeny tiny backyard, which I want the backyard to be mostly for Benjamin to play. And so I thought, well, what can I do? I thought, well, I have this space. I have this vertical space. Now, this isn't going to have any sun on it, probably by the end of September, but all summer long, it should have enough sun to grow what I want to grow. Alright, so there's the cucumbers again, so you have your perspective, and the blueberry. So here's another, this is a different variety of blueberry. It didn't come to me already. I probably won't get any fruit this year. But it's coming right on. You got to understand, these most of the berries that I came, they were just kind of like bare. The blackberries had really, you know, tiny, pathetic leaves, and I mean, when you buy them from a nursery online, they, you know, you think, oh, this is so inexpensive. Then you get it, and it's like this little stick, you know. So, but it's fun. I mean, the strawberries were nothing. They were nothing. There would be like one of these, and like looking really sickly. And I mean, it's just been a couple of weeks since I planted them, and they're just doing great. This is a pot of beets. I can begin harvesting those tops any day now. Yep. And I might pull up a root eventually just to see if see how big they are. And these are some other beets where obviously I let most of them dry off. All right, then look at against the house. What do we have there besides the top of Benjamin's head? These are mini-dwarf peach nectarine trees. They're grafted so that they'll produce both fruits. And this got me excited. Look over here, look over here, look over here. What's that? What are those? Do you know what those are? Those are blossoms. I did not think I was going to get any fruit, especially maybe from the berries later in the, in the fall. But I didn't think I was going to get anything from my trees, and they're already blossoming. Look at that. I'm so excited. Now this is the only one so far that has blossoms, but I know if this one is growing blossoms, the other ones are going to start producing. And these also have some strawberries with them. I bought 50 strawberry plants, okay, so I had to spread them out in all the different pots, all the different fruit pots. This under here is some more broccoli. So it's like it's the original broccoli that I first planted way back when it was freezing. in February. We had that Arctic front and it was 5 degrees at night for a couple nights. Alright, now I'm going to turn around and give you that. So here it is from, I'm standing near the backyard and looking down the side yard. It's not very big, you can see. It's pretty narrow. It gets narrower as you get to the gate. But I'm managing to fit a lot of things in now, and I understand that eventually these some of these pots, the fruit pots, are going to have to be moved away from each other a bit. But there you go. Okay, now see, I've got some oregano and flowers going there. And we want to always plant lots of herbs and flowers with our garden because, here's the other one, I was looking for that, because we want to attract as many beneficials as we can. These here in the trays, these are going to be planted elsewhere. I'm waiting for them to get bigger. I've had enough with having them under the lights up on this plant shelf upstairs, so they're just growing outside. Benjamin, and those are more beets that Benjamin's looking at. These are yellow beets, by the way. They're not red. Alright, so let me let you see the pots for the vegetables. This is the main vegetable part. And we already have tomato with flowers. We have peppers, growing baby peppers. All sorts of fun things. See if we can get the... There you go. Did I say the date when I started this video? It's April 8th, 2011. That's the fun thing about southern gardening, is you get to start really, really early and have a long growing season. I'm not bragging too much because it is pretty miserable to run out here and try to get everything done really fast in July and August before it gets, you know, to be 90 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, probably won't be able to see the baby peppers on here now. It's just, they're way too small, but believe me, there's see, you see that blossom, and I've already got teeny tiny baby peppers growing. It's fun, very fun. Swiss chard right here. Swiss chard, I found out, will live up to 5 years if you take care of it. In the winter when it freezes, you just cut it all the way down to the root and it'll come back in the spring. This also is Swiss chard, but I finally figured out, I thought I had a slug eating it, and so I put eggshells. And then I thought, well, but slugs aren't eating anything else. These are pretty big bites. And I've seen a grasshopper a couple of times. I don't know if it's the same grasshopper, but I put 2 and 2 together and I thought, well, you know what? It's eating these. So I put a row cover over here. And I'm just going to leave a row cover on probably for a couple more weeks so they get, you know, more like this size. And then it doesn't matter if a grasshopper wants to come and have a munch once in a while. It's not going to destroy an entire plant. But look at this baby. You know, he could destroy this whole thing in a couple days if he wanted to. Now, look at this. I learned this listening to somebody's podcast. That's a green onion. What I did was I bought a bunch of organic green onions from Whole Foods. And I cut off the roots. And I planted the roots. And I'm going to be able to cut and come again onions probably for the rest of the year. And when these go kaput, guess what? I'll go to Whole Foods and buy another bunch. Isn't that great? Because the onions I tried from seed, they did not work. I'm not going to waste the seeds. I'll try it again, but maybe not for a couple more years. So and you're going to notice that I have other things. This is going to be a tomato. Look, there's a barrage. Barrage repels the tomato hornworm. So I'm going to be planting one of my tomatoes here. There's a carrot. Carrots love tomatoes. Carrots actually help tomatoes to grow better and to taste better, I think. Something along those lines. But I've actually got flowers and herbs. There's a marigold over there getting ready to blossom. Another carrot. And that's, I think that's bee balm. I have bee balm and lemon balm. But I'm going to guess, and there's a piece of grass that's illegal. I'm going to pull it out. Okay. I have more bee balm than lemon balm. So chances are that's a bee balm. But bee balms produce a very nice flower that attract beneficials. And so they're a good companion for tomatoes and peppers and all that good stuff. There's more peppers. I planted a zucchini seed there. This is going to be our first zucchini. And we'll see how it comes up. These are tomatillos. Tomatillos are little tiny tomatoes. They're related to tomatoes, but generally they're more sour. Generally, you can eat them raw, but generally they're used for cooking to make salsa and stuff. So I've created these little greenhouses so I could just start them from seed in here, let them grow a little bit, and then take it off, and they're already hardened off. They're already adjusted, no problem. Because I'm really, really tired of dealing. If you could have seen all the plants I had on my plant shelf under the lights for fall, February, and March, I'm done with that. So they're just going to have to grow up in these pots. So you can see I've planted, there's a zinnia, and I have some lettuce in here, which by the time the tomatillos are these look good. My marigold's about to bloom there. Yeah. By the time the tomatillos are of any distinguishable size, the lettuce is going to be ready to harvest and or cut and come again, which is great. I need to water these petunias. I've got these little baby petunias that are going to go in these respective pots when I get ready. All right. But I'm not done. I'm not done. Here's, looking at the, it's hard to see, isn't it? Because there's no leaves. The trees against the brick. But there you go. All right. Now we're headed into the backyard. There's our other rain barrel. I call it the first rain barrel. But Benjamin was so excited about growing food that I asked Benjamin if he wanted his own little garden. So I built him a little 1 square foot raised bed here. He has 2 tomato seedlings that have come up, and it looks like, I don't know, one of them is lying down and not looking happy. But this other one is good. So then there's a barrage. What does the barrage repel? The tomato hornworm. I had extra barrage, so I just let Benjamin have one. Marigold, that's an alyssum. Alright. Ignore the mess, please. You can tell we have a 4-year-old living here who kind of gets his own free way in the backyard. Alright. Pink lady apple. Pink lady, and the other kind I have are Fuji, and they're 2 varieties that have low chill requirements, something like 500 or 600 chill hours. Also strawberries. One of these pots, Benjamin, ¿son tuyas esas fresas? Yes. One of these pots, I told Benjamin the strawberries were his. Whenever he sees red fruit, he can pick them. It'll be his. So, and you see the mess of potting soil back there. Okay, these are brown turkey figs. Came as sticks. They came looking like that, only taller last fall. Okay, sticks like that, a little bit thicker and taller. We overwintered them in the house, and the leaves started blooming. The leaves started coming out when they were still in the house, about probably a month ago, would you say? So, probably going to take at least a couple years. They're not mini. By the way, these apple trees are also mini-dwarf. I'll be thrilled to pieces if these blossom this year. They're already growing nice leaves, so, but not expecting it, but would be nice. But these are mini-dwarf trees, apple trees. They'll just live in the pots forever, and, well, not forever. Mini-dwarfs have to be replaced a little more often than the big fruit trees, but they're really nice if you have a tiny backyard and or you want something portable. So these are blueberries also that I bought last fall. The other blueberries you saw I bought just this spring. So, do I need to water this, or what is it? It's just, okay, this one is just really slow to grow leaves, isn't it? Huh. Because over there it has leaves, so. Anyway, could use some, I'm going to water it tomorrow, could use some water. And this Fuji has leaves, isn't that fun? Look at those leaves. Now I want to show you something really cool for this time. This won't last all summer, but I wonder if you could hear. It might be too late in the evening. Nope, I think all the honeybees have gone to bed. If it were in the morning and I had this camera right here, you would hear the buzzing of probably a couple of hundred honeybees, which is totally awesome because they come here for the trumpet vine, but then they're going to start pollinating the fruit blossoms, and then they're going to go to find my garden and start pollinating tomatoes and peppers, and really fun. And then over here I'm going to have squash. We had to improvise with the pole beans. I had, where's the sunflower? Or have I killed all the sunflower because I wasn't? Where are the sunflowers? Surely they didn't all die. Anyway, I had planted some, oh, here's one. They're getting surrounded. Okay, now that it's working. Okay. Note to self. Plant sunflowers a couple weeks before you plant the pole beans and let the sunflowers get a head start. Because what happened was I wanted the pole beans to be able to climb up the sunflowers. As the sunflowers grew, well, the pole beans grew a lot faster. So Jerry had the brilliant idea of just putting string up against the tree, letting the pole beans climb up there. And I've got a lot of volunteer, I think pumpkin or something like that, that's going to have to go because I'm going to grow butternut squash. And I think these are the seeds, the butternut squash seeds that germinated. Though that's what I want to grow here. There's another sunflower there. And the feathery things are fennel and dill. Fennel and dill are both said to repel squash bugs, and that's why they're here. Okay. Right now, this doesn't look like anything, but there's going to be watermelon here one day. And maybe sweet potatoes. We'll see about that. Okay. Está bien. And here, I redid these beds. Going to be filled with greens. Summer greens, New Zealand spinach, and orach. And I forgot another new bed that I started. One more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Over here, right on the other side of the side yard garden, I've got amaranth. You can eat the leaves of amaranth, or let it grow really tall and get the grains, get the seeds. I've got amaranth, and then underneath, there's some chives. I've got some collard greens, lettuce, and in the front are more collard greens. Let me see if I can pick this up without taking the brick off. No, not gonna work. All right. Ta-da! So, looks like somebody's been having dinner. I wonder if there might be some worm there that I need to look for. I don't know. Worms, slugs, something. Anyway, well, the lettuce looks really good. But this is a semi-shady place, so it's a nice place to have some green. It's covered up because, as you can see by the collard greens, that there are things that like to eat the collard greens, including cabbage moss. Okay, so, whew, that's my ever-expanding garden. And the next video you'll see, hopefully we'll have a lot more flowers on my fruit trees, a lot more leaves, and you'll see things growing against the fence. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get a garden started if you have not, because gardening is fun. Just, don't start this big or you'll go nuts and never want to garden again. You start small and you expand. All right, I'll talk to you later. Make it a great one. Bye-bye.